Welcome to the Not Nerd Podcast. I'm Nate Heath, and we are here to help you tech better. Here with me, as always, Mr. Dave Baylor.
Well, hello there, friend. I gotta fix my hat here. It's getting a little chilly here at the Baylor compound at Studio
Yeah,
West. So, you know,
yeah. I came up with a new law of nature that I'd like to institute.
okay.
That on the weekend of daylight savings time in the fall, when we fall back an hour, which we just did, you cannot also have a rainstorm. That's just too
Oh,
much dark and gloomy for one weekend.
oh, that's a good law.
Yeah, so
Huh,
if we could work on that, Bill Gates, if you've got some cloud destroyer lasers or something that can
right.
adjust that, that would be wonderful.
Well, if only we'd known this sooner, we could have planned that. I'm double checking to make sure that everything is good on our stuff. But why don't you talk about, while I do that, why don't you talk about your lid?
Yes, yes, my lid this week. Yeah, the audio does sound good. I just checked it, but this week you can see just got it today. The sticker's still on there. It's officially licensed product. Voltron. Voltron Unite.
That is amazing. And you probably didn't know that I was a huge Voltron fan when I was a kid.
Uh,
Um,
I was as well. I would assume so since we're near an age and it was an amazing TV show. I did look up the Wikipedia. They had two seasons of the original in 84 and 85. And then there was a reboot like 2016 to
hmm
2018, the Voltron Legendary Defender. But
yeah,
yes, I can't remember if I had any Voltron toys. I know a friend of mine had like the full lion set and everything. Ah,
that's
the
crazy.
80s. 80s cartoons. Does it get any better?
Well, they were 80s commercials, is what they were.
Yes,
Did they get any
yes.
better? No. So, this something maybe I've shared it before, but I wanted the die-cast Voltron set. It stood about this tall. I
Yes.
wanted it so bad. I had the Montgomery Ward or J.C. Penney's catalog, and I cut out the picture of the Voltron toy, and I kept it. I don't know, taped it to the wall or something. And I would just covet that thing. I wanted it. I wanted it. I wanted it. And I never got it. But my cousins got it or something similar to it,
Yeah.
and I was blown away. And I'm just like, oh, I want this. And then when the toy came out for Lego, I really wanted that too. But of course, I missed the boat, and it cost hundreds of dollars, and now it's probably thousands of dollars. I wish they'd
Yes,
reissue
yes.
that. So
And
anyway, yeah,
producer Todd has joined us and he said audio is good, video is kind of laggy, which is
it is
weird because
lagging.
I changed the
Did
stream
you
settings
touch
even
something?
further. Hey, hands off. And he said, Sweet hat, my neighbor had a full Voltron growing up, and I was so jealous. I had zero Voltrons.
Hmm.
Yes,
Well, I
yes.
um I watched the original series, of course, just on whenever I could catch it online or on the TV. Sorry, online. That's a joke. But the new one, my kids watched the new one, and I watched some of it. And I really wanted to watch all of them, but they'd watch it without me, etc. And so I'm
Uh,
like, well, I'm going to go back and catch up on it, and I never have. Just a real-time update on download and upload speeds. I've got 620 megabits download and 569 megabits upload. Is that good?
no,
Yes, it is
we
very
both
good.
are blessed with amazing internet access. And Dave, you're going to be blown away because this episode, two episodes in a row, we have our newest segment, What Got Nate to the
Oh,
Theater?
another
Yes.
thing. The first one was Taylor Swift.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
And maybe the second one.
the second one is Nun 2, the horror movie. No, I'm kidding.
Pass.
Since it was Halloween recently.
Yes.
Did you go see Taylor Swift a second time?
I did not.
Oh, well, the only thing I can think that are in the theater now, and man, that laggy video is really bugging me as we
Yeah, it's
discuss
I'm
this.
getting the warning now on YouTube. So apologies to our live viewers.
I guess it's just my crappy computer. Can we just say
Yeah.
that? I'm going to quit every app that's not
It's not part of the live
being
stream,
used
please.
right now. Uh, and let's see if it improves. Look,
Yes, this
I've
is a
got
good reminder. Go to notpicks.com and support us through those Amazon affiliate links so we can buy Dave a new M3 Max
yeah,
MacBook Pro.
maybe I just have to drop the money. So I think there's probably a combination of the new operating system that is out
Hmm.
and various other things, lack of programs updating to support it properly. But I'm looking right here. My CPU usage is 52.3%. We're running at 30 frames per second, uh, 2,700 kilobits per second. I got a green square.
Yeah,
Um, what?
yeah. The
Nothing
the
else.
internet it should be good. It should be good. But Dave, any more guesses?
Oh, yeah.
More importantly than technology,
Is Napoleon out? I think that
not
comes
that
out
I know
tomorrow.
of.
I know that Paw Patrol was out a while ago, but I think it's out of theater, so I can't even guess what it might be.
Well, you should have stuck with your hunches. I took Isla and we went and saw Paw Patrol
Ah, there you go.
at
So it's
the
still in the theater.
Clackamas Town Center Cinemark Theater. Do
Okay.
not recommend.
I do not frequent non-regal
No, don't.
theaters.
It is not a great experience compared to the Regal Bridgeport.
Yeah.
But
Well, the name
anyways,
suggests that regal is regal.
Regal is Regal. Well, should we maybe do you have a coffee mug for us
I do.
tonight or
Today's mug features. Um, yeah. Look at this guy right here. Let me switch over to Dave Cam.
ooh, and the
That's
way I
Lucerne,
oh,
Switzerland.
oh
I have
wow.
not been there, but guess who has? My daughter. She is
Yes.
spending all her money traveling the world.
And buying you coffee
All
mugs.
I got was a crummy coffee cup with tea in it. There
Very
you go.
nice. Very nice. Well, with that, let us get into some follow up. And we have some breaking news.
Oh yeah?
This afternoon, last Monday, we had the Apple event, but this afternoon, from the Apple newsroom, there are two headlines. Final Cut Pro for Mac and iPad get powerful updates, and Apple supercharges Logic Pro for Mac and iPad. So,
Wow.
yeah, so
That's
two
something
pieces of
else.
Apple news for those. If you're a Final Cut or a Logic Pro user, you can update those. And I looked through the features. It's no like game-changing AI create your movies for you. It's some look like some tweaks to help you be able to edit videos
Hmm,
better. But yeah, so I thought I would bring that up. And
very cool.
I teased last week about the Qualcomm event
Mm-hmm.
that they held like 6 days before Apple's event, and they announced their new ARM-based computer chips that were the fastest laptop chips in the world
Yeah.
until Apple had their announcement a few days after that. But they are doing some really good things on chips. I think I mentioned that, and I've got a link in the show notes if you want to read more about all their stuff. But they are doing some similar system on a chips to what Apple has been doing and Intel has not been able to keep up with. So,
Yeah.
uh, but I don't think theirs even come out until like mid 2024. Whereas the Apple laptops, people should start receiving them tomorrow. So with the new
Wow.
M3 chips, so we'll be hearing more about that.
That's exciting.
Um, and we did also mention last week during or when we did our show after the Apple event that at the very end it said this was shot on iPhone
Mm-hmm.
and edited on Mac, and that's become this big hubbub because people are saying, well, they were misleading because they still used a professional production crew and had all the jibs and the jabs and the cribs and the crabs that
Close.
one uses. I think
Yeah.
those are the official terms, but Apple
Yeah.
did on their newsroom again. You should really be checking out the apple.com/newsroom. They had a behind the scenes peek
Mm.
at the iPhone 15 Pro Max and some of the setups that they were using uh, for their event to record that. And it's
Yeah. And I
Pretty
think it's
stinking
totally fair.
impressive.
It's totally fair because where the iPhone is among all that equipment, they formerly would have had an expensive Airy camera, which costs like $250,000 or something stupid like that. Um, so a gigantic piece of equipment was missing and replaced with $1,000 phone. That's
Yes.
big
The
news.
phone in your pocket. And I did
Yeah.
see in some of the pictures, there were a couple things from Small Rig, our
Hmm.
one of our favorite brands for camera
One
and
of our
phone accessories.
non-supporters.
Yes. But they had, yeah, some pretty crazy cranes and all the stuff you would use for a normal multi-million dollar production. They just replaced that camera with the iPhone, which is pretty impressive no
It was
matter how
very
you look at
impressive.
it. I don't think anybody watches that and thinks, oh, I can do this if I just have an iPhone and am in
Yeah,
my living room,
I'm gonna go buy
filming my
one so
daughter.
and my
Yeah.
videos will look just like this,
Yes, yes, but
minus Tim Cook.
pretty impressive that they were able to do that, even the drone shots and
Yeah, they just strap that thing to
everything.
a drone. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, yes, indeed. Now I just need to get the $100,000 of other equipment and we will be at Apple level,
Totally.
right?
I just want to stream at more than 2 frames per second.
Well, that would be nice. That would be nice. I put a link in there, sixcolors.com, Jason Snell, his Apple Q4 2023 financial results and charts. Everybody's been doing their quarterly results. Apple was pretty flat. They might have been, I think it was down 1% year over year. Um, but still, they profit was 23
Big.
billion with a B dollars.
Yeah.
23 billion dollars. They are not going under, but he does a good job of putting together some beautiful colored charts to look at all the numbers to
Yeah.
see how Apple is doing.
And this week we're going to forego the switching to the web view and the driveway cam. If I will hold my iPad out here if there's something.
If
I did
there's
it.
activity.
I'm officially an old person. I called a 10-inch Kindle Fire tablet an iPad. I
Oh,
apologize for all of you in
yes.
my age demographic.
I will try not to Xerox your mistakes.
Thank you. Excuse me, I need a tissue. I mean a Kleenex. What?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. One other piece of follow up, Dave, you might remember on episode 175, Pneumatic Tubes, when you picked Mint Mobile as your pick of the
I
week.
do recall that fondly.
Yes, that was back on April 17th, 2019.
We were
Woo!
recording in 2019.
Yes, yes, we
That's
were. We
amazing.
started in 2016 is when we started, which is just insane when you think about it.
That
I'm
is insane.
just going to look. I've got the show notes from that episode up here. And let's see. Here's some of the headlines. 14% of Netflix users are using someone else's account. Well, they've cracked down on that.
They have.
YouTube TV jacks up its prices. That's happened several more times since. Ooh, I just got a stream and selfie notice on YouTube Studio.
You know what I
So,
got on mine? It says, encoding overloaded. Consider turning
oh,
down
yes.
video settings or using faster encoding preset.
Oh,
I
that
wonder what
could
that
be our
means.
encoding, something we should dig into now because all of our listeners want to hear about decoding.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. We could just stop the podcast, reconfigure the
Yes.
encoding, and then go from there. But we
So
probably
look for
shouldn't do
better
that.
encoding next week. And I will, quick sidestep,
Oh, hold on. What? I
slow
you
sidestep. You might notice that I am back on my Canon M50 camera as my webcam, and I was using my iPhone last week with the Sonoma 14.1 macOS update. They turned on something with security for older webcams to make sure that the little green light turns on your webcam and everything. So I had to go through recovery mode and do some setup, but I'm back on my Canon M50. I know people were worried about that, but back
yeah.
to episode 175. Here is a time capsule for you, Dave, that will tell
Okay.
you just a glimpse of where we were at the point, because the other two headlines I read, those are happening now. Uh, HQ Trivia replaces host Scott. Remember
Oh
the
yeah,
craze of HQ Trivia and the
I
host
remember that.
Scott? You had the trivia questions, and there was a big controversy when they let him go,
Mm-hmm.
and then we never heard about HQ Trivia again.
Ever again.
But
So, who did they get to? Some girl they got to replace him or something.
I think it was. I didn't pay attention after that. But back to the original reason why I had this episode up.
Yeah.
Mint Mobile is shutting down at the end of the year. They were purchased by Intuit, which anything that has to do with money is usually purchased by Intuit.
Can we just
And
outlaw that company?
yes, outlaw Intuit. But they are, I guess, going to be pushing people towards Credit Karma, which they also own
Yes,
and
that's what I
purchased.
used because they weren't Intuit and then Intuit bought them. And so I
Yeah,
actually had to switch something else.
yes, but
Idiotos.
I have heard there are some people that are really into Mint Mobile and budgeting and tracking all your expenses every in there. I do hear a lot in ads for Rocket Money. I think
Yeah.
that's another one where you can kind of you connect all your credit cards and bank accounts and it tracks everything, so you can know. I was watching something the other day. And it was like I think it was an ad on Instagram, and it was like, did you know you have two subscriptions to Netflix? And the dad's just sitting there like an idiot. Oh no, I didn't know that. I should cancel one of those. So Mint Mobile's going away if you use it. Don't and if you don't use it, don't start now.
Wait,
But
Mint Mobile or Mint?
or yes, sorry, Mint.
Because Mint Mobile is a phone carrier.
Yes, yes. I am misspeaking.
Yeah,
I had it
Mint.
wrong in the show notes,
I see.
but
Yeah. Well, sorry for all
yes.
those of you that are confused
Yes, no,
by that.
Mint Mobile is still going strong. Just Mint, which is a
Yeah.
mobile app, but Mint, the finance
Financial thing.
tracking app. Yes,
Hey,
yes,
so
I
before we move on to the
apologize.
next topic, I wanted to say
Yeah,
that I did go into my output settings and I changed the bit rate from 2500 kilobits per second to 2000. I didn't think it would work while we're streaming and I hit OK and we seem to be streaming a lot better and my
wow,
CPU usage is down.
nice.
Could that have been the problem the whole time?
Yeah, yes. And Todd chimed in. LOL, I thought Reynolds sold out. And yes, no, Ryan Reynolds still Mint
Still,
Mobile,
still
cell
got it.
phone, cell phone Mint, good to go as far as I know. Finance Mint leaving us
Wow.
is short for this world, but you know what is not short for this world? Dave's pro tip of the week.
And this week, I just added it to the show notes so
Ooh,
you can
yes.
play along there at your home. Nobody
Oh,
else.
and producer Todd says the stream looks great now.
Yeah.
Who knew the encoding setting
Well,
was a problem?
actually, I did know that the encoding setting could absolutely affect it, but I didn't think that 2500 kilobits was going to break the bank.
No.
Uh, if it has problems, I'll push it even slower, but it will affect the quality of the video that we
Hmm.
output. So I will review all this before next week, I promise. And you may be wondering, Dave Plays Games always looks fantastic. What's going on there? Well, I'm using my ATEM Mini to
Uh,
encode and stream that, not my computer. Um, and we had a little bit of issue kind of, and no, nobody cares about this, but I'm telling you, Nate, you and me, Nate.
yes.
So I tried to solve my problem of one external monitor by sending video to an Apple TV. Ah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So I hooked an Apple TV up to my ATEM and I thought I'm going to output the OBS preview to the Apple TV, put it in the ATEM Mini and stream from the ATEM so that we don't
Woo.
even have to stream from a computer. I It didn't work. It's I don't know why. Theoretically it should work. But
And
anyway,
Wes has joined us, and he says he loves watching Dave plays
oh,
games.
does he?
And we had multiple. You more than doubled your total number of episodes this week.
I did.
I think you had
Yeah,
three. Did you go live three times after our
I think I
episode
did.
last week, and then two other times? So,
One of them
uh,
I pulled down because the audio was really bad, except for the till
yes.
the very end. And I figured out what that problem was. My little receiver I had turned up too hot. Uh,
Ah.
anyway, uh, I think we're supposed to be doing a pro tip.
Oh
Is
yes,
that
yes.
correct?
Pro tip of the week.
Yeah. So the pro tip of the week is: have you ever wondered how you could add people to your photos? And I'm not talking about like a Photoshop thing, but do this on your phone. On your computer, you can open up the Photos app. You can click on a photo and you see somebody in there and it'll detect their faces and you can click it and say, that's Nate
Mm.
Heath. And it adds to a library of Nate Heath photos. Well, you may or may not have known that you can do that on your phone also. And I'm going to show you how to do it on iOS 17. So all it takes, it's very simple, is you take a picture of some beautiful model, like this guy, for
Ooh,
example.
wow.
Yeah, I know.
Break the
And
internet with that one.
I know, and you're thinking, well, how? There's nothing on here. I can go to edit. It's not in there. I can go to the little dot, dot, dot menu. There's nothing about faces in there. It's like, what? I guess I just have to do it on my computer like some crazy person. But through the magic of swiping up or
Mm.
clicking the little uh, aficionado icon, oh, I can't do it
Yes.
backwards. It raises this up to this other panel that we've talked about before. And right here in the little
Oh.
corner, if it detects a face, it will show it there. And if it's a face that's not detected before, it'll have a little question mark on it. And you tap it. So I'm going to tap this and I can link contact. I can see all photos of David, etc. Let's see if I can find one that doesn't have anybody listed here. It's probably going to take me a minute because I was going through once I discovered this and said, "Oh, this is fantastic. I want
Yes.
to do this to
I
all my
can see
photos."
I've got we went to a birthday party for one of Isla's school friends on Saturday. So I had this picture
Oh
of
yeah.
the kids there, and so it
Oh,
identified
hold on.
Isla.
Hold on. Hold on. Nobody else can see
Oh,
that. Okay.
nobody else can see it. There we go. So it identified Isla, but the other three kids there that
They have
it
a little plus
detects.
symbol there, don't they?
Yeah, so I could add them, but I probably will not for them. But that is a very nice tip that I could just take Ellie there and name this person.
Yeah, you could. So what I love about it is you can do it on the go. Um, all the things you can do on the go just trump anything you can do on your computer because you take the photo, you can identify them right there, go about your day. You don't forget about it. You're present in that moment. And I've even moved to doing a lot of things using my phone as a workflow that I used to use my computer for. So here's a weird example, and maybe I should use this as a future tip. But one of my roles in my homeowners association is to go around and take pictures of people who, not take pictures of people, picture of trash cans that people have left out that are in violation of our
Violations.
covenants. And we give them 3 full days to put them away before we, send them notices. Anyway, so I get up, I walk around, I take the photos, and for our management company that sends out the notices, I used to just send them the photos. And they're like, oh, someone wants a timestamp photo. So I was looking through all the date metadata and doing a snapshot. Here's the it's a pain. Now I go into the photo, I edit, I circle the violation in red.
Oh,
I do that on all the photos and I so that you can easily identify the violation. And then I have an app called Date Stamper or something like that. It'll be a future pick of the week probably. I run it through there. It puts a timestamp on there. I save the photos to Google Drive, and by the time I get to my desk, it's all ready to go for me to
nice.
send out. So anyway, that's just a little sidestep of what you
Yeah.
can do on your phone with the Photos app.
Yes, and producer Todd has a question.
Oh, he
Does
does, does he?
tagging people's faces on your phone like that keep that data information on your phone, or is that sharing facial recognition stuff with everyone?
If
The
by
tinfoil
everyone you
hat. I need
mean
to,
the
we should both
NSA,
have tinfoil hats next to our desk for
yeah.
when Todd asks questions.
So the answer is I don't fully know, but there are a few things about Apple's process that I do know. They do the machine learning on the phone, and it does all the face stuff, and then they somehow, I believe, send that out in an encrypted like a key or something. And I think that is, if you back up your photos to iCloud, it is stored in the clear, well, not in the clear. It's stored on Apple servers and accessible by them. If law enforcement were to look at
Mm,
it, they would see a string of information that relates to these people. Um, and then that can be synchronized with all of your other devices. If you choose not to use iCloud backup for your photos, I believe
iCloud
that
photo library.
yeah, the iPhoto library, one, you can't sync photos across
Yes,
multiple devices, and it will in turn do that on device, and it stays on your device and does not go anywhere else. So yeah,
yeah.
that's the
So then my answer would be it should sync between your photos libraries, and Apple is most likely doing what they can to keep that information away. It's not going into some generic database that, they could say, "Oh, we found Johnny was there because
yeah.
somebody took a picture," and that stuff. So,
But law enforcement could subpoena that information, but Apple may have constructed it in a way that it's anonymous and it's not even possible. So that
yeah.
part I do not know, but I know that if it is possible for Apple to do it that way, that's the way they're going to do it.
Yes, yes, indeed. Well, thank you for that. And it's time for everyone's favorite segment, Just the Headlines, where we read through a bunch of headlines that we probably don't want. We're either tired of talking about them or the headline gives you everything you need to know. So here we go.
All right.
This is a big one to start off. Sam Bankman-Fried found guilty on all 7 criminal fraud accounts.
Surprise Pikachu face.
Yes. NASA sends software patch 12 billion with a B miles to Voyager 2.
I can't even send an email to the right address.
DoorDash is testing warnings about bad service if you don't tip your driver.
Don't use DoorDash.
Amazon made 1 billion with a B dollars through secret price raising algorithm, according to the US FTC.
Mm, love it.
Yes. And last but not least, a world record in race walking is erased after the course was measured wrong. Those are just the
I need
headlines.
to add the womp 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 wah, wah, wah,
Yeah,
wah, wah, wah.
yes, yes.
That sucks. You ever seen those guys with their hips just going?
Oh, there was a great Malcolm in the Middle episode about race walking back in the day. I don't know why I remember that, but there was.
Hey,
Uh,
and I'm going to let you know before we go into our next section that I'm going to be risky and I'm going to try to use our web
oh,
viewer.
web viewer. Okay, well, first up in our takes, it's been a while since we've talked about AI stuff too much, so I've got quite a few stories that are of news in the AI world in this last week or two. So the first one, I heard about this from a family friend who is in her 70s. So
Mm,
this one really got around. The Beatles' final song is now streaming thanks to AI.
yes.
Did you
And
hear
have you
about
listened
this
to
one,
this
Dave?
song? Oh,
I heard a little part of it.
yeah. I like it. It's good. And if I
Yeah.
understand it correctly, we could read the article, but they had a demo or something
Why
of
do that? Let's just make it up.
what?
Why read the article?
Oh,
We
I
can
see.
just assume what we
Yeah, I'm
think it
just going to
is.
make some assumptions. That's what the internet does anyway. Um, they extracted the vocals from a noisy background or something else, and then they redid the musical part. But the vocals are John Lennon's vocals that
Yes,
were recorded.
yes,
So it's like they were singing. And then Paul dropped down some bass, and Ringo dropped down some drums, and the rest is history.
yes, yes. Breakthrough technology and machine learning to piece together a finished track from an old lo-fi John Lennon recording.
Hmm.
So they tried to do something with it back in the mid 90s, but the technology just wasn't there. And now they've got it. Now and then
Yes, I
is
should
the
probably try to
song.
play a
So
sample here to see if we can get our channel restricted and
yeah,
taken off the internet.
obliterated. But yeah, that's
That's
crazy.
cool.
New Beatles songs. Who knew? Who
I'm
had
a
that on
Beatles
their
fan.
2023 bingo card that
Nobody.
would get a new Beatles track? Uh, and we have not talked about Elon as much lately either, but he debuts Grok AI bot to rival ChatGPT and others. So
Really,
Grok
to
is the
rival them?
new,
Does he think that's
yeah,
actually going to happen?
yeah. So XAI is the company, his AI
Ooh,
venture. They
I like the
launched its
logo.
first chatbot. Yes, it's better than the X logo. But yeah, he's positioning it. Now, I've seen some different samples. He's been posting about it. Um, Here's a tweet in the article from Elon Musk. Example of Grok versus typical GPT, where Grok has current information but other doesn't. Now, there's versions of ChatGPT that do utilize current version. It also has a lot more snark built into it, and it's the bummer is it's only currently a feature if you are a X Premium Plus subscriber, which costs $16 per month. So no longer is my $8 a month good enough. You have to
No,
bump up to the $16 a month, which I believe is also an ad-free X experience. And yes,
I'm
Todd,
presently.
I'm not saying formally Twitter just for you. I have fully embraced X unless it's 50% of the time that I'm talking about it, and I call it Twitter. Um, but yeah, so
I'm currently paying $0 to Mr. Musk for
yes.
his ruined social network.
Don't buy it. It's the bit. Don't buy into the media they're lying to. Twitter's better than ever.
Okay.
I uh, I enjoy it thoroughly.
Yes.
But yeah, anyway, so he's got the new Grok, which is their version of that, and we'll see. I think OpenAI just had a some sort of announcement this last weekend. I didn't link to that about ChatGPT and their Dolly 3, their image generation, and all the stuff they're doing there. So again, this stuff's moving at the speed of AI.
Hmm, interesting.
Uh, and now on the other end of the spectrum, your favorite company, Meta, trained
Oh,
an AI on 48 million with an M science papers.
of course
It
they
was
did.
shut down after 2 days. In the subheadline, Galactica was supposed to help organize science. Instead, it spewed misinformation.
Hmm. So let me get this right. Current chat technology or GPT, whatever it is, technology makes up a bunch of crap, right? It's a well-known thing. You're like, give me a recipe to whatever, and it's like, take your cigarette ash and place into the, you know, uh, what did they think was going to happen with scientific stuff? It's like, it's just going to jumble all the stuff together, whether it makes sense or not.
Yeah, yes, yes. And a couple throwbacks from Todd in the comments. And on the tip of the week, when he was asking about the photos and if that data is synced, he said less for tinfoiled hat than for minors. So having
Mm,
facial recognition of minors in your photos, that
I
that would
see.
end up in some public database. And then he also said, um, Musk also said the AI would have a rebellious spirit. What on earth? Why? How would that ever be good in an AI system? And I have read through a couple of the ones. There was one that was like, give me a recipe for cocaine. And it's like, step one, do this. Step two, do this. Step three, stop. Do not make cocaine.
Mm.
So he's putting a little Elon Musk broism into the chat,
Well, how
and
can he
yeah, a
control that?
rebellious spirit.
I mean,
I don't know. Part of
you,
the language model that you turn it, you go in and you turn up the dial for snark, much like our bitrate setting
yeah.
that you turn down. You just go in there and you say a little more snark in the
Hmm.
AI, please. I do not understand one bit how all this stuff works.
I don't know about that. So,
Yes, yes. Well, you know who does know everything about AI? Biden signs executive order to oversee and invest in AI.
and for those of you who listen to us who are not in the United States, we're talking about President Biden.
Yes, Joseph R. Biden. And I will remind people that we are the most nonpartisan tech podcast on the internet. But
Truth.
they were talking about this, and the subheadline, the order is broad and its focuses range from civil rights and industry regulations to a government hiring spree. And so it's this long document. They were talking about it on This Week in Tech. Um, and it's just kind of this wide ranging, which I've mentioned before. Um, our government is not meant to change based on executive orders. But this one, it's like, okay, everybody do something in the government about AI. And so we'll see how much of it actually, where they go with this.
Why
But
didn't he create a department of artificial intelligence and put a head over it, a czar, and they could
I,
just kind of, you know,
I thought, no, I think actually, our vice president, Kamala Harris, has
mm.
been tasked with the AIs, or they had some meeting a while back.
Well, why does he
But
need
there
an
was,
executive order then? I don't
I,
understand.
I don't understand government, but there is also another story I didn't link to where I believe it's the UN. They're also doing some stuff with kind of, hey, we need to discuss this AI thing and figure it out. But yeah, AI, it's here.
AI, who knew it'd be a thing?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
everybody.
This next one, we've got some local news
Oh,
that I saw happening in real time on X.
oh,
But bomb threat involving food delivery robots at Oregon State University proved to be a prank.
oh, again
Uh,
with the surprised Pikachu face.
yes. So they have these food delivery robots apparently that take food to lazy college students in their dorm rooms. I don't know that they're lazy. But yeah, the bomb threat later proved to be a bad joke hatched by a student on social media that forced OSU to err on the side of caution. The tech company Starship, which operates the robots, said in a statement. And the tweet from Oregon State University: urgent OSU alert, bomb threat in Starship food delivery robots. Do not open robots. Avoid all robots until further notice. Public safety is responding.
Public safety is responding. Okay,
Yeah, so that must be their what they call their campus police or whatever, but
I'm gonna leave this tab
or
open.
part of that. There we go.
Pikachu.
Pikachu. But yeah, that's I mean these threats and
Oh,
hoaxes are happening all the time. Bomb threats and the not doxing, swatting, where people say,
mm-hmm.
"Oh, somebody's being murdered in this house," and send in the SWAT team, and then it's just somebody sitting there playing video games or
So what's the
whatever it
deal?
is
I
that.
mean, it's like, hey, cops, my somebody stole my car and I tracked it and it's right over there. Can you get it back? No.
No.
Hey, there's Hamas has set up a thing at 123 Fake Street. Oh, we got to get the whole call out the National Guard. It's like do a little
Yes.
research maybe.
Yes. Uh,
Anyway,
I
that's
I don't
oh
know,
wait, what
but
did we say
yeah.
for the partisan
not
podcast
partisan
on the
people stuff
television,
on the television, on the
whatever
radio
whatever
waves.
the thing is.
Yes, yeah. So it was 12:20 p.m. that first X was posted, and then it was a couple hours later that they were able to give the all clear.
Mm. Well, good. I'm glad
So
nobody. I'm glad no robots were taken advantage of because
yes, yes,
that's not
indeed.
cool.
Our robot overlords. And then one more security and privacy story in a positive note, I guess, not our normal breach of everything we hold dear,
Mm.
um, but from Reuters, alliance of 40 countries to vow not to pay ransom to cyber criminals, U.S.
I
says.
think it's phenomenal. It's like
Yes,
don't negotiate with terrorists, don't pay cyber criminals.
yes, yes. So
So
that's 40 countries are signed on to that. So hopefully that will make it much less profitable, therefore much less worth the effort.
how
Um,
do countries keep private industry from paying
well,
those?
that's a another very good item because if it's private industry and if they want to pay it, but
Yeah,
at least the governments, which are often breached.
I think whenever something like that happens in private industry or government, we need to send out SEAL Team 6 and we need to
Yes,
eliminate the problem. And after a while, the criminals they'll get the
we'll
message.
stop.
Yeah.
We'll stop. Yes, and producer Todd says, "Avoid all robots" is such a hilarious warning. It's like that old SNL commercial for robot insurance for baby boomers. Oh yes, so many good SNL sketches and
Sketches?
sketches over the years. Well, it is time for our bonus odd take, and this is another one. He might hold the record for most entries on bonus odd take, but Neal.fun, Neal.fun, we've done many of his. This is the Internet Artifacts
Hold on a second here.
Museum.
I'm too low in my notes. I'm like, I saw this earlier, but I found it.
Yes,
Please
so
proceed.
it's yes.
Remember, I'm getting
Uh,
older.
Yes, it starts in 1977 with the map of ARPANET, the precursor to the internet, showing the 111 computer terminals connected to the network in 1977. So
That's
that, and then
phenomenal.
you can scroll through the years. The first spam email in 1982, the first smiley, first use of the smiley in 83.
Yeah, this was interesting. I actually read through that one. But anyway, we don't want to
Yeah,
waste time here on the show.
yeah, but it is a fun look through the first MP3, 1987, Tom's Diner by Suzanne Vega, a great track.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the first Worm. So yeah, Neal.fun, he went through and made a museum out of these basically screenshots of different technology milestones. AOL
Well,
dial-up was 1991.
yeah, some of them are interactive. Like this one. Did you hear the? There it goes.
Oh, does it have the?
The sound. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I guess you can't hear that. I should add that to
Oh,
our.
I can hear it on my side, the dialing and the modem sounds.
Yeah,
But
so they're
yes,
more
what
than
a
just screenshots. They're little interactive things. I'm
yes.
going to go forward. Would you say 2016, the Not Nerd podcast? Let's get up to
Yeah,
the.
I see if Neil put us
Dang,
on there.
it's taken me forever here. Okay,
Yeah, he's got a lot of entries.
let's see
I'm
what
at
happened in
2004.
2016 besides.
This
Oh,
makes for
it doesn't go that far.
oh, just up to two. He hasn't gotten there yet. Neil
Hmm.
Agarwal, but what are some of the other ones that we've done of his? The asteroid launcher, Wonders of Street View, Days Since Incident. These are all previous bonus odd takes.
Mm-hmm.
Earth reviews, maybe we've done that one, but he has got a master's list of bonus odd takes at
You'll recognize this
Neil.fun.
one. Oh, is it
Oh
not working?
yes,
The
Numa,
Numa?
Numa.
I
Uh,
my
And I could send you
my
the link of mine. I should put it in the show notes on the Netback YouTube page,
Mm,
my personal account. Hold on, I'm getting there.
okay.
Let's see.
What is it? I'll put it
Well,
up on the screen for everybody to
I'm
net
trying
back.
to get you the link. I don't know if it is Netback on there. Oh, there it is. I'm sending you the link here momentarily, Dave. I will
Okay.
message it to
That's
you.
funny that you think I have messages open on this creaky computer
Oh,
that I'm
well,
using, but
yes.
I just opened
Yes,
it.
indeed. The Numa tribute to the original from 17 years ago. I posted this on YouTube. 17 years ago.
Wow.
Ah.
Look at that hair.
And what do you see on the wall behind me, Dave?
Hats.
A bunch of trucker hats. That was in my single days in my apartment on Beaverton Hillsdale Highway, and I had many trucker hats mounted on my wall.
That's hilarious.
But I did my impersonation of the Numa guy, which is
Yeah.
one of my all-time favorite. Every time I hear that song, it takes me back. It's so
How many
good.
views do you got on that, dude? Let's take a look here.
This video I've got 7.3K, so 7,300 views in 17 years.
Wow, that's how many is that per year, Mr. Math Scientist?
That is not a lot. Like
You,
500 a year, somewhere in there.
yeah, well, that's just you mainly showing people probably.
Yes, yes.
Ah,
So
that's hilarious. I love it.
good little. We have been sidestepping all over the place tonight with fun for you. But
That's okay. That's what the people
you know
come
what?
for. We've got
Yeah,
Todd watching. We've got me
yeah. We
watching. We
have
got you watching. We can do
Wes.
whatever we want.
Yes, and the people that listen to the audio later, they
They're gonna miss out.
this is a good reminder to go over to YouTube so you can at least get the visuals with things. But one place where we never sidestep often are picks of the week.
That's right. And for my pick, you may remember a few weeks ago, I
Oh
picked
yes,
my
your keyboard, your mechanical keyboard.
mechanical keyboard with the red switches. Well, I gotta tell you, I loved the keycaps. That's why I got it.
Yeah,
They had
yes.
some blue switch ones or and a brown switch, but the color was different. And so it cost just under 40 bucks. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy the one that I want because I don't like the red switches. I'm gonna buy the one I want. I'll just swap the keycaps because you can pull them off,
Oh
and then I'll
yes.
have the one. But then I got to thinking, do I really want this keyboard? It's thick. It's like this thick. So anyway, I decided to get my first love, which is a keyboard that I ordered. Well, a similar this company. I ordered one of these, or my wife did for Christmas like 3 years ago, and I returned it because it had those red switches. I should have learned my lesson.
Mm.
But this one you probably heard me using is the Keychron super
Ooh.
slim keyboard. So look at the difference. Now the color palette is not what I want, but look at how much thinner
Oh wow, that is a
it is. Yeah.
half, a third the thickness.
And I have experimented, and I thought I was going to do this fully by taking the keycaps off of this, the thick boys, and putting
Mm-hmm.
them on my thin keyboard so that it's still thinner than the original. Well,
Yes.
wouldn't you know it, Keychron on their long buttons like the shift and tab
Oh
and so
yeah.
they have on the bottom. I suppose I could take this off here for you. Oh, yeah. Hold on. No, this is important. Everybody wait for me to do my thing. So on the bottom of these, they have this little cross thing, and on
Oh
the
yes.
keyboard, they have the corresponding thing on the switch. So
Yes.
you can easily take them off and switch them around, not a problem. But on the long ones, there's three little ports, and Keychron offsets the outer two
Oh,
by a
how
fraction
dare
of a
they?
millimeter. All the other ones are
Why?
straight across. I don't know why they do it. Apparently, it's either proprietary or they think it's going to give a better typing experience. I don't know. But what you have to do is like trim off these, get some adapters that you 3D print and put on there. I was like, I'm not I'm not doing that. So,
Uh,
I may purchase new keycaps that have the color that I want, but for now, listen to this. Listen to this beautiful sound. Let's hit a key that it's not going to matter.
mm.
That key did matter.
Clicky click clicks. That key
Isn't that?
did matter.
Oh, here we
Computer
go.
shutdown
Arrow
key.
keys. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, and you will
Yeah.
notice that I did swap I swapped the arrow
Oh, the
keys.
arrow keys, so they're taller. That's a nice little feature there.
Yeah, so I could feel them better. When I'm just typing, if I'm like want to go over left and right, they're just right there. So anyway, that's the Keychron, and this was a little more expensive. It was about 765, $70 or something. I was like, you know what? It was a Christmas present 3 years ago. I'm getting it now. That's my logic.
Yeah.
So there
Well,
you go.
Dave,
Yeah.
unbeknownst to either of us, because I did not see your pick and I didn't put mine in because I offed like the element of surprise.
Well, I
I
just added mine.
too, I too have a keyboard this
What?
week. Yes, the Pikachu face. My keyboard
This looks familiar
is
though.
from a company called Apple. So
Hmm.
it's not as cool as Keychron.
I've heard of those
It is
guys.
from, yeah, Apple. So this is the Magic Keyboard for Mac in space gray. Now, if you look up in the corner, you will see it does not have Touch ID like their
No.
current one does, that's $200.
Yeah.
But I'm going to kind of do a multi-pick. Forever, I just, even at my desk, use the keyboard on my Mac. I think I've talked about this. I put the laptop up on a stand now, and I've used, where did it go? The white wired Apple keyboard. Well, I picked this guy up, and this is part of my pick too. A good reminder about MacSales.com, which is also known as Otherworld Computing,
Mm-hmm.
and they were having one of their garage sales. I had
Oh
sent you
yeah.
the link, Dave, to shop around, and I got the last one of these. It's a used, refurbished keyboard that they had for sale, and these ones go for like $130, but this was down to $85,
That's not bad.
84.75 to get one of these. It's Bluetooth. It charges via Lightning. So I bought a new Lightning device, which is kind of disappointing, but I do like having the 10 key when I'm doing number entry and that kind of stuff. Do a lot of 10 key. So it's a really nice keyboard, but it's a good reminder if you're in the Apple ecosystem, you can go to macsales.com and they make their own devices. They do used Apple computers, new Apple computers,
Well,
tons of accessories, docks, drives,
I gotta say,
everything.
I've bought some stuff from their garage sales before. I probably won't do it again. I don't have as great of experience. I bought a couple of these type of mice for work. Oh yeah, and I 3D printed a little thing to make it
Ooh.
more comfortable to hold. But I got it and I opened up the battery compartment and it was like dirty, like the rails were all worn down. There was like cat hair
Oh
in there.
man.
And I'm like, you sold me a garbage.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, I mean, it still cost like 30 or $40. And I was like, so I emailed them and complained. I think they gave me a refund.
Yeah.
But let's compare. Let's compare the thinness of our.
And I will show you, mine was used. The only thing I found wrong with it, if you notice there on the A, the inside of the A
Yeah,
is
it's worn
worn.
off.
And I've got some mustache hairs on mine.
Maybe you should
Note to self,
get a
don't
marker.
hold your keyboard up to the high resolution camera for the world to see.
Here, let's let's
Uh,
let's do the thinness here. Let's do a test. Get your keyboard up there. See which one's thinner. I'm gonna go
yes,
with
and
yours is about a
yes.
third.
And I thought about asking you because it's too thin with my wrist pad, then it's like too low, so I have some little stuff propping it up, but I was going to have you 3D print me a little riser for my keyboard
Oh
because
yeah.
it's mine's too thin. Now I've run into that problem, but it is a great keyboard, and I was glad I was able to pick it up at a discount price
I forgot to
because
mention
paying
that
full
this one
prices.
has an aluminum casing versus
Oh,
the
nice.
plastic one of this. So that's why it's, 40% more expensive. But oh, and it lights up too. No, where's the?
Ooh,
No, it's not doing the. Anyway, you can do all the fancy rainbow stuff.
yes, yes,
Anyway, I
and
better quit hitting buttons on my keyboard that is actively
yes, yes.
connected to my computer.
And Producer Todd says he really does want a mechanical keyboard. I've been chasing the dragon of the keyboard that came with the Power Mac in like 1996.
I think I have
Uh,
one of those if you want one at
ooh,
work.
wheel
Is it
and
the one
deal.
with that has translucent plastic around it so that everything that falls in and under the keyboard you can
Oh, you
see?
can see it forever. I
Crumbs
think
and
I have one
hair
of
and
those. That wasn't, mine's not
ugh,
1996, but
they made a
oh,
huge mistake with that keyboard.
yes, yes, indeed. Well, if you want any of our picks, we're wrapping up this week in keyboards, our special episode here. Head over to notpicks.com. The holidays are coming. You can get shopping early and use those Amazon affiliate links there to support our show. We've got a ton of picks there. And if you have people on your list that are hard to shop for, not picks, there's probably something there that people in your life do not own because we have picked some random stuff over the years and some very
Random.
helpful stuff as well. So yeah, please head over to notpicks.com before you do your Amazon shopping. Look through our picks, find something, leave a review on it, all that good stuff, and help out the show. And with that, I think we will wrap up the episode. Thank you so much to those of you who joined us live, are watching on YouTube, or listening later. Now get out there and act better.